Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back again. My name is Zilka Nadiva, and now I'm really excited to share something that I think is often overlooked in English classroom. So it's not just about grammar or vocabulary or even test scores. It's about something much deeper than that. So it's about how emotions impact the way we learn English. So throughout this video, I will walk you through 10 different articles that explore how things like anxiety, motivation, confidence, and teacher support can make or break a student successful in an EFL classroom. So without further ado, let's dive right in with the first article. Start with the first article written by Liu and Huang, 2011. So under the title An Exploration of Foreign Language Anxiety and English Learning Motivation. So in this article highlights something many language learners experience, right, anxiety when using a foreign language. The authors found that when students feel nervous or anxious, their academic performance, especially in English, tends to suffer. On the other hand, students who are motivated, particularly those with intrinsic motivation, perform better in learning English. So the key message here is that teachers should focus not only on academic content, but also on how students feel in the classroom. So emotions like anxiety and motivation can directly influence how successfully students learn. So one strength of this study is that it used a large sample size and strong statistical analysis, making the findings more credible. So however, one weakness is that it only looks at written test results without exploring how anxiety might affect speaking skills or real-life communication, which are also crucial in language learning. So this article connects nicely to the next one because while the study shows how anxiety affects academic results, Article 2 will show us how anxiety can also be seen as the behavior like silence or body language in a classroom. Next article by Maher and King, 2020. Observing anxiety in the foreign language classroom, student silence and nonverbal cues. Alright, so this article explores how anxiety doesn't just show up in test scores, it shows up in students' behavior in the classroom. So the authors found that when students stay silent or show nonverbal signs like avoiding eye contact or giving very short answers, it's often not because they are lazy or uninterested. Instead, it can be a sign of anxiety, a hidden emotional barriers that stops them from participating or speaking up. Right, so the benefit of this study is that it encourages teachers to look beyond words and pay attention to what students are not saying. So by recognizing the silent signals, teachers can create several classroom environments where students feel more comfortable taking risks and using the language. So one strength of the article is that it's based on real classroom observation, so not just surveys. So the insights are grounded in actual teaching situation. So a limitation is that the study only look at Japanese university classroom, so it may not apply to all cultures or age groups. So this article connects smoothly to Article 1, reminding us that the anxiety is a major challenge in language learning, whether it affects test performance or show up as a silence in class. So both articles highlight that emotional awareness is key of what we want to support to the students, not only as language learners but also as individuals. Okay, so now let's take a look at Article 3 by Solak, under the title Exploring the Role of Motivational Factors in the Academic Achievement of EFL Learners. So this article shifts the focus from anxiety to something more positive, motivation, so and how it influences academic success in learning English. Right. So the study found that students who are more motivated, especially female learners in this case, tend to achieve better results. It shows that motivations plays a big role in how much effort students put into learning and how well they perform. So the benefit of this article is that it reminds teachers that not every student is motivated in the same way. Some might need extra encouragement or different teaching approaches to stay engaged and succeed. So one strength of the study is that it looks at wide range of motivational factors. So it's giving us a fuller picture of what drives students. However, a weakness is that the study is based only on survey data, so we don't get to see actual classroom behavior or interactions that might bring those motivations to life. So this article connects back to Article 1 and 2 because it continued the idea that emotions, whether anxiety or motivation, shape how students learn. So while anxiety can hold learners back, motivation can be the energy that pushes them forward. So the next is Article 4 by Mahmoud, under title Bridging the Gap, Change in Class Environment to Help Learners Lower Affective Filters. So this article introduces the idea of Krashen's affective filter theory, so which basically says that students learn better when they feel safe, relaxed, and supported. So the study shows that when the classroom environment is positive, students become less anxious, more open, and more willing to learn. Yeah, so but when students feel stressed or judged, their affective filters goes up and learning becomes harder because their minds essentially shut down. So the benefit of this article is that it gives more practical advice for teachers on how to create emotionally safe classrooms. Things like encouraging teamwork, using positive feedback, and creating a welcoming space can really make a difference. So one strength of this study is that it doesn't stay in theory. It actually shows how small environment changes improve students' attitudes in real classrooms. So the weakness is that the study was only done with female students in Saudi Arabia, so the findings might not fully apply to more diverse setting. So this article connects well to Article 1 and 2 and 3 because all of them shows that emotions, whether it's anxiety, motivation, or feeling of safety, directly shape how well students can learn. And the big message here is that as teachers, we have the power to create that a self-supportive and supportive space where learning can truly happen for our student. To Article 5 by Zhou, Liu, and Guo, titled The Mediating Effect of Self-Efficacy Between Teacher Emotional Support and Interaction Engagement in EFL Learning. So this article highlights the powerful role that teacher emotional support plays in language learning. So it shows that when teachers give emotional encouragement, it helps students build self-efficacy. In other words, their belief in their own ability to learn and use English. And when students believe in themselves, they're more likely to participate actively and engage in class. So the benefit here is that it reminds us that teachers don't just shape academic progress, they also shape how students feel about themselves as learners. Sometimes a simple kind word or positive feedback can make a huge difference in helping students build confidence and communication skills. So one strength of the study is the use of advanced statistical analysis, which strengthens its evidence linking teacher support, students' confidence, and engagement. So however, the limitation is that the study was based on short-term data, so we don't know how lasting these effects might be over time. So this articles lastly is connects really well with Article 4 because both highlight the emotional safety and teacher behavior help reduce barriers like anxiety and low confidence. So the next is Article 6 by Validek and Aiden, under the title A Comparison of the Effects of AI-based chatbots and peer interaction on speaking anxiety among EFL learners. So this article brings us into the topic of technology in language learning, so which is becoming increasingly popular in classrooms right now. So the study compares using AI chatbots with peer interaction to see which is more effective in reducing speaking anxiety. So benefit here is that it reminds teachers to use technology thoughtfully. While technology tools can support learning, they cannot replace the emotional connection and encouragement that comes from human interaction. So the one strain of Okay, so one strength of the study is that it gives a clear comparison between text-based and human-centered approaches, helping teachers make smarter choices. Right, and a weakness is the small, simple size and short study duration, which limits how broadly we can apply the results. Right, and this article connects nicely to Article 2, 4, and 5, all of which emphasize that human relationships, whether between teachers and students or among peers, are key to reducing speaking anxiety and creating a engaging learning environment. Article 7 by Rohani, Atisumi, and Mirzae, titled Exploring Learning Styles and Oral Communication Strategies and Their Relationships with Emotional Intelligence of EFL Learners. Alright, so this article introduces another important emotional factor in language learning, right? Emotional intelligence. Right, and the study shows that learners who have higher emotional intelligence, meaning they can understand, manage, and express their emotions, tend to use better communication strategies, especially in speaking tasks. The key message here is that it's not just about knowing grammar or vocabulary, it's also about how students handle nervousness, frustration, and hesitation when speaking. And stronger emotional skills lead to the better communication performance. Right, and next, the benefit of this article is that it encourages teachers to focus not only on language development but also on helping students build emotional awareness, self control, and confidence. And one strength of the study is that it clearly demonstrates a link between emotional intelligence and successful communication, offering teachers new insight. However, a limitation is that the study only uses quantitative data without exploring learners' real classroom stories or experiences, which could have made the findings richer. And the article connects with naturally to Article 5 and 6, which is also show that the emotional factors like confidence, self-belief, and emotional control shape how students use language. So yeah, now let's continue with Article 8 by Kadis Kabetran under the title Enhancing Students' Confidence in an English Language Classroom. Right, so this article focuses on one of the biggest challenges in EFL learning, the fear of speaking. As we know, it shows that using group-based speaking activities where students practice together in a supportive environment, it can significantly boost their confidence to speak English. So the idea is simple. The more chances students have to speak in low pressure, friendly situation, the more comfortable and confident they become. And as we know, confidence is key when it comes to actually using English in real time, not just learning it. And the benefit of this study is that it gives practical, easy to apply ideas for teachers to help shy or anxious learners gain confidence. One strength is that the study shows clear the improvement in students' confidence through consistent practice. But the weakness is that it if involve only a small group of participants without a comparison group, so we cannot be fully sure that activities alone does the improvement. And this article connects nicely to articles 4 and 6 since all of them highlight that speaking confidence can be built over time through supportive classroom practices. With the right encouragement, even the most anxious students can learn to speak up and use English with confidence. And let's move on to Article 9 by Fatoy and Gamla, under the title Teacher-Student Interaction and Feedback in English as a Foreign Language Classroom. And this article focuses on how the quality of teacher feedback and the use of English during lessons can strongly shape student engagement and participation. And the benefit of this study is that it reminds teachers that how we communicate matters as much as what we teach. The thing is that the study is based on actual classroom video recordings, which makes the findings highly practical and realistic. But a limitation is that the research focused only on Norwegian classrooms so that the result might not fully apply to different cultural settings. Finally, we come to Article 10 by Al-Khazali and colleagues under the title The Safe Learning Environment in the United Arab Emirates, Schools and its relationship to the development of creative thinking among students. Right. This article expands the discussion by showing that creating a safe, supporting classroom environment does not just help with language learning, it also encourages creative thinking and personal growth. When students feel like emotionally safe and respected, they are more likely to take academic risks, share ideas, and develop confidence. The benefit of this study is that it reminds us that emotional safety is the foundation of all meaningful learning, and students who are not afraid of making mistakes are more likely to grow both academically and personally. And one strength that the research used a large and diverse sample of teachers, which adds credibility to the findings. However, a limitation is that it only reflects teacher perceptions without including student feedback for a more complete view. And this article connects to Article 4, 5, and 8, which all emphasize that the emotional safety and positive classroom environments help students succeed not just in English but in becoming more confident, independent thinkers. Alright, so all 10 articles highlight that emotions such as anxiety, motivation, and confidence strongly shape how students learn and perform in EFL classrooms. And teachers play a central role in creating safe, supportive, and engaging environments that help students overcome emotional barriers. And effective challenges and emotional well being are essential factors in both language development and personal growth. So, understanding and addressing these factors can lead to more meaningful, enjoyable, and successful language learning experiences. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. I really hope this summary of 10 articles has helped to show how emotions play such a powerful role in language learning. Something we sometimes forget when we focus too much on grammar, vocabulary, and test results. As future teachers or even as current learners ourselves, it is important to remember that creating a safe, supportive, and engaging learning environments can truly make a difference in helping students build confidence, reduce anxiety, and express themselves more freely in English. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching and for joining me on this journey through these articles. I hope you found it insightful and that it gives you some new ideas to bring into your own teaching or learning experiences. See you next time, and let's keep making learning a place where students not only succeed but also feel seen, heard, and supported. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.